Good day, Mr. Fati, Elijah Fati. My name is Agnes Thonasi. I work presently as the director of the West Africa Democracy Radio, WADR, based in Dakar, Senegal.
Thank you very much, Madam Thonasi, and welcome to Daily Podcast with me, Alaji Fati, as you rightly mentioned. But this afternoon, our topic of discussion will focus basically on two things. That is, we are talking about migration, not you particularly as an expert in migration, because of the reason we are bringing that topic. Your frequency, West Africa Democracy Radio, used to run one of the best migration program in the Gambia, both English and the Mandinka language, and which has really help the community to mitigate migration in the Gambia. But in the long run, we've seen all those things stop, and then many true research has been saying that that program is need for Gambia to have such program in our community. But before going further, I want us to talk about how important was that program to you, especially at West Africa Democracy Radio, talking about migration.
Yeah, for us at West Africa Democracy Radio, you will hear the word democracy often. You'll hear the word development. We are a radio that believes in contributing to the lives and livelihoods of people. We're a radio that believes in sharing information that will touch lives and also change lives. So we intervene with communication, with the production of information on issues that we believe are of high relevance and importance, that needs to be addressed, not only to be addressed and talked about, but to be addressed in such a way it will lead to creating and bringing about change. And that is why we had migration. We work in all other areas. For the issue of migration, we have been reporting on migration for many years. We still report on migration. But we had a strategic approach. We had a strategic approach for 4 years, 2018 up to 2022. In these 4 years, we worked extensively in the area of migration. We called it Let's Talk Migration. Because migration, as we all know, is a right. It's not a problem. The issue is irregular migration. It's not migration that is the problem. We all migrate. We all move from one place to the other. And we all have a right to migrate as long as we do it in a proper manner. So it's irregular migration that we had a program on, and we called it Let's Talk Migration. We called it Let's Talk Migration because there are so many things to talk about. But at the same time, we wanted to share information that is of quality, that is of relevance, and that would touch lives for informed decisions. So what we had was the training. We first started with the training of journalists. WADR, we work with partner radios. We do not set up radio stations in countries. We cover the entire West Africa. But how do we cover West Africa? From our base in Dakar, we broadcast widely on FM and on radio online. Right now, we're even back on satellite, and we have partner radio stations all over West Africa. Sometimes a minimum of 5, a maximum of 10 or 12 in each country. So whatever we're doing, we do it with these partners. We do not work in isolation. So when we were working on migration, in the area of migration, we trained journalists from the partner radio stations. Journalists who will work with our journalists in Dakar to produce information, to gather first and foremost information from their communities, and then we produce that community. So, we produce the information for the community. What does that mean? It means that all the information we share is from the people. We take it from the bottom to the top, and from the top to the bottom. So to ensure that everybody is well informed, the way people believe, behave, the way people, the things that people believe regarding migration, the misconceptions, the truth, and everything that has been mixed up, WADR tried to bring out the information as clear as it could be in the form of a magazine program, where we had different segments looking at testimonies of returnees, migrants who traveled in an irregular manner and then came back sharing their stories. I believe in most of the countries I've traveled to, they have talked about these stories really touching their lives. Some people started to even better understand. I met with a journalist of a community radio station in Ghana who told me that before your programs, I did not even, realize what we were doing, because some people will come here to announce that their canoes are ready, the boat is ready, let us announce for young people to go and register. We didn't know that we are aiding and abetting irregular migration. We thought we were just doing a service to our community. But with the enlightenment, with the information that you brought, that through your programs, to talk about traveling the visa way, traveling the correct way, traveling in the irregular way, and all the push and pull factors that we discussed. So yes, our programs went like that. We trained journalists, we worked with them, we coached them, we mentored them to produce reports, conduct interviews, and share the information within their community, and we also shared the information within our own networks. Then those productions in English and in French were also reproduced. I always say reproduce because we do not just translate or voice over them. We do a complete production again. I think you were one of them in the Gambia, in Mandinka, in Burkina Faso, we use More and Fulfulde, in Senegal, Polar and Wolof, in Guinea, Suso and Polar, in all these West African countries. In Mali, we use Bambara, and in Ghana, we use Chui and Dangme in Ada, which is not far from the capital city. So we have worked extensively. So using our approach with the multilingual approach also helped us a lot. African languages are beautiful languages. And when you speak to someone in the language he or she understands, he or she would love it more and would be ready to listen more. The feedback mechanism, we created listening groups, people who would sit down in their community. We took it back in time, where people will sit under the trees, people will sit in their backyards, and we organized that as well. So you find out that people were interested. When we go for the listening sessions, journalists, community radio journalists, private radio journalists sit with them, they listen to the program, they ask questions, and then they interview them as well to come with their own ideas. So you see that they look forward to the program because they know that in the next program, they'll be hearing themselves because they have views. And at WDR, we believe in that, amplifying the voices of people at all levels, most especially the underprivileged. And most of the time we think that we are the ones with information. But when you talk to people at community level, at different levels, you find out that they have ideas. They see things, they observe, and they know what they want also. So hearing all of that, I think, encouraged people to really listen. And the feedback we've gotten is that people really appreciated that strategic approach. So it is that strategic approach that stopped after 4 years because it was a project. But we still report on migration.
All right, that's very clear there. And then that will take us to the next question regarding this migration program. Because of, as I said earlier, you really elaborate on details on how you work on your strategic development regarding migration in West Africa, to be precise. But as we are speaking right now in the Gambia, because of the feedback that I get when I used to do that program for you guys was somebody, as the text, they always keep on texting me, when are we having the migration program back on the frequency? Maybe I have a chance to ask you that one will come. But if you have an opportunity, like not only to say to talk to the Gambian government, but in any of these West African country where you have been conducting this migration program, what will be your message to the central government?
Well, I always say government has a main role, a critical role to play. You have civil society organizations, NGOs that complement the efforts of government. You have us as a people, and all of us have responsibilities in everything that happens in our countries. So you'll find out that responsibilities should be shared in this. Yes, the government has a role to play. What I have seen in the area of migration is that I've been to different countries. I know in Nigeria, even in the Gambia here, they have policies. They have policies, documents on migration and how they will address the migration issue. IOM, EU, they're all working in the area of migration in our various countries. And most of the time when you talk to young people about the push and pull factors, you find out that sometimes it goes even beyond our own comprehension. But sometimes they're very, very little and minute, tiny issues that we consider tiny but big to them. Yeah. So looking at the issues from a deeper level is very, very important. I have seen cases where it is women, even mothers, who put together money to help their young sons to travel. The dynamic there is not that the mother knows about the dangers or anything. It's that the society in which the person lives, there are many factors pushing her to also push her kid. If you talk about it, people will think differently. But sometimes we have found, I listen to some young people saying that sometimes even when at community level, you will hear them even praying and thanking people abroad. Yeah. And when they themselves are in the country sitting and nobody will thank them for their efforts, yeah. Nobody will praise them. But they will even call for prayers and say, let's pray for Alaji Fati in Norway because he bought this. And young people watch that. Yeah. Women, we all know the society in which we live. Sisters, aunties, polygamous societies. You see a child of somebody else going, your own child is not going. Or some people will even consider you a failure because your own child is at home doing nothing. And I have seen a child who, having spoken to him, who took the back way, yeah. And then came back and now has graduated from this Gambia university, from GTTI. Yeah. What does that mean? It means that young people do not just want to go. It is our systems. As much as we have policies, the implementation of these policies are very, very important. As much as we have policies, we should also look at our structures and our systems internally. There are so many things that young people want to see in their own countries, in Africa, in West Africa, which they do not see. And for that reason, they want to go out. If we take time to work with young people, if we take time to understand the root causes and know that it's not only even the young people, this is an entire family and communal thing. Yeah. It is about development. And we all have a stake in development. How do we ensure that we develop our nations? Medical facilities. We look at our health centers, our health facilities. We look at our educational facilities, our road transport network. We look at so many amenities, public service amenities that the government should provide. We look at how, NGOs can also, in all honesty and sincerity, complement the efforts of government to ensure that our nations are developed. If they are developed, factories are built, young people have places to work. If they are developed and young people have easy access to education. The last time I had in Botswana free education, how much do our people earn? How much do people earn to pay for a parent with 6 children, for instance, and you want all of them to be educated, but you don't have the means?
Yeah.
So how do we look at ensuring that we strengthen these sectors, strengthen the education sector, strengthen the health department, strengthen all these public institutions so that they give to the people, they serve the people, because they're meant to serve the people. And then the people will benefit from it. So implementation, it's good we have policies. And most of these governments have policies. The Gambia has one on migration. At what level of implementation are we? How effective is the implementation? What do we have in place that would ensure that these young people stay? Yes, information is good. We provide information. And we can create awareness creation. But most of the time, research has shown that you create awareness and you can have results of 90% awareness creation. But practice level can be as low as 20 or 10 because it is that quality service that is not available. And because that quality service is not available, young people will still go out no matter what. They want to go. Some of them just want to go and see the world. They want to see something else. I think what is important also is for us to look at regular means of traveling. Because sometimes to satisfy their inquisitive natures, the curiosity, you can't stop young people. So it is the advice we give, the way we talk to them, and also to ensure that we convince them to work on going the regular way. Irregular migration, we all hear the stories of trafficking, death in the areas of Niger, Agadez, on the road. Some people do not even arrive. Some in the seas, some are maltreated, But then some go and then they have opportunity. And because they have this opportunity and they thrive, then their family. So you see, the information should be two ways, so that even those who have opportunities and thrive in those countries should be interviewed. We should go to them. We should try to get them so that the story could be told differently. Because it is not that they just went and they found gold. They struggled, they went through certain processes. And if they begin to come out to talk to also young people about what they went through, how they circumvented, and what brought them to that level of now thriving in those countries, then it will make young people better understand that it's not just to travel to find gold. Anywhere we are here, we normally say it, in our own countries we can make it. There are lots of opportunities that we can utilize, we can tap on. But then there is need to continue to develop our countries. If our countries are not developed, if we are frustrated, then young people will go.
Yeah, and then that's bring me back to your question, sorry, your narrative regarding the role and responsibility of the governments, the civil society, and even individuals in various society in the country. But above all is the central government, because any company that comes to your country, there is what you call social cooperative responsibility. And most of them, they will come here and stay. They are not contributing to any meaningful development of the national interest. But yet again, the central governments also will look at them, probably for reasons best known to them, they are not acting on that. So it means for us to have an effective system running, there must be a balance in anything that we do. So let's move on to the next question, because of when you're talking of migration and you are talking of any other issue in Africa or where any elsewhere in the world, you are talking about professionalism, and then how best can we give advice to our young reporters coming up regarding any other issue, especially when it comes to the national issue, because it's very important.
Well, journalism and any professional work we do requires that we do it in professional manners. And I always say that no matter how professional you are, personality is also crucial. It is key. who you are. We all go to work having studied somewhere, done something, which means intelligence is already there. So we do not talk about that. It is already there. Your creativity, your innovation is in line with your passion. You should love what you're doing. You should respect the work that you're doing. And your attitude and behavior towards that should be paramount at a very high level. Punctuality, respect for your workers and with your workers and your colleagues, important. Because what I realize is that when you love something and you do it with passion, you do it well. And we should have that passion. We should endeavor to improve ourselves every day. As a journalist, as a broadcaster, always do research. The information that comes from you should be verified information, should be factual, should be one of quality that will build, that will develop and not destroy. So you should have clarity in the information that you share. And research is critical. Do not just get up and go. Always conduct your research. Prepare yourself. Ask yourself, who am I talking to? The audience is very important.
Yeah.
In broadcasting, I always say, before you go on air, always ask yourself, who am I going to talk to? That one person is critical to whatever you are doing. It will determine the tone of voice that you will use. It will determine how clear you are in your speech. So clarity, good presentation, even composure, be it radio, be it TV, the way you sit, the way you talk, your diction should be clear. Your presentation should be wonderful. You should be able to entice and encourage people and build, that relationship with your listener. Your listener is key. Try to know them. Try to know their interests. Try to use what they want, their languages. And whatever language, you speak Mandinka, speak it well. You speak Wolof, speak it well. You speak English, speak it well. There's no need to say, yes, I'm a Gambian and I speak local. If you are deciding to have an English program, do an English program and do it well. If it is a local language program, everybody will understand. But sometimes the mix and match and the presentations are sometimes, so confusing. Who is your target audience? When you are doing this, who do you want this message to reach? How do you want this message to reach this person? Professionalism is key. Attitudes, very, very important. Punctuality. You give people appointment or you are given appointment. You should go to work at 8. Go to work at 8. We should respect ourselves. All of that means you respect yourself first. Respect yourself first by being honest to yourself, loving your profession that you chose to go into, and do it well. Conduct your research, prepare yourself, be punctual for work, for interview appointment, everywhere. Even if you are we all know life is not perfect. Yeah. We share information, I'll be late, this and this, but then that shows people will know that definitely this is what it is. So for me, the advice is let's continue to learn. Let's continue to appreciate and respect our listeners. Let's continue to improve on ourselves. Learning is crucial. We learn every day. You learn and I learn. I love learning. Learning from, it doesn't matter who it is. Whoever does well, we learn from them. Yeah, so it is important that we learn.
All right, I think I'm afraid that's what we have for this daily podcast interview for the day. And then it has been a really interesting episode for our audience regarding this particular program. And I'm glad to have you on the program this afternoon. Thank you very much for you to be on the program. And then I wish next time again when you're in Gambia, I will know.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll let you know. Okay.
Thank you.